Sometimes you walk into your home and it feels like something invisible is standing still in the air. Not bad, not frightening, just too quiet. As if the house is holding on to an old energy that no longer fits who you are now. Most people ignore that moment, but in truth, it's the very first signal that you're ready for a shift.
Hello, I'm David Feng Shui. I'm 70 years old with over 30 years of experience in modern Feng Shui. No superstition, just psychology, energy, and real-life alignment. I've helped thousands of people regain balance, money flow, luck, and happiness in their lives. And if you're ready to refresh your energy, welcome. You're in the right place.
Today I want to share with you 6 remarkable plants that can awaken the flow of energy in your home. The kind of energy you can't see yet. You feel the instant you step through the door. No superstition, no rituals, just the simple way your space reflects your inner state. If this resonates with you, go ahead and hit subscribe and leave a comment with this affirmation: I allow new energy to find me. Before we talk about the 6 remarkable plants, you need to understand one simple truth. Your living space influences you far more than you think. People love to say home is where you recharge, but the reality is, not every home gives you that sense of renewal. Some places make you feel lighter the moment you walk in. Others make you exhale without even knowing why. That isn't mystical feng shui. It's psychology and environment, like color, airflow, and the things you see every single day shape your emotional state. If your space is dim, stagnant, or lacking life, your spirit naturally becomes heavier too. And this is exactly why plants matter so much. Plants aren't just decoration. They are living signals. When you bring plants into your home, you introduce a fresh source of energy, something that makes you breathe easier, think clearer, and feel more motivated. That is why the 6 plants I'm about to share can truly shift the way you experience your life. Now let's step into the heart of today's message. The 6 plants that can shift the entire feeling of your home, simply by being there. Each one carries its own energy, its own story, and a very real impact on how you feel every single day. 1. Snake plant. The snake plant brings a sense of stability without even trying. Just place it in a room and the space feels cleaner, more structured, even if you didn't move a single thing. That feeling comes from its shape. Tall, upright leaves that stand like small pillars holding the room steady. When your eyes catch something strong and defined, your mind naturally responds with a quiet sense of reassurance. One of the snake plant's greatest strengths is how indestructible it feels. It doesn't need much water. It doesn't need strong light. And it doesn't ask you to remember a care schedule. Even if you forget it for a couple of weeks, it still stands there, calm, patient, unfazed. That brings relief, because you won't always have the energy to take care of everything around you. The snake plant becomes a part of your home that stays steady, even when your life gets chaotic. Place it near the entryway, and you'll feel its effect instantly. Each time you walk in, its upright, grounded presence creates a quiet kind of welcome. Not loud, not dramatic, just a gentle steadiness. Like something in your home is holding the rhythm for you. It reminds you that this is a place to pause, to breathe, to soften after a long day. In the bedroom, the snake plant becomes even more helpful. Its slim, vertical shape keeps the room feeling neat and controlled. And a clean-looking space always makes it easier for your mind to enter a resting state. Every night before sleep and every morning when you wake up, seeing something still, something not messy, not demanding, helps you maintain calm throughout the day. The snake plant is especially powerful for anyone who feels like their life needs a little more grounding. Whether you place it in your office, your living room, or your bedroom, its energy stays the same: clarity, patience, and steadiness. It doesn't require you to understand feng shui or believe in anything complex. It just stands there, doing its quiet job, holding the space steady and reminding you that even small things can create big shifts. 2. Golden pothos. Golden pothos can transform the feeling of a room in just a few days, and it barely asks for anything in return. Its soft vines and natural trailing leaves bring a gentle calm into the space. When you walk into a room and see those flowing curves, everything feels slower, smoother, less tense. What makes pothos special is how effortlessly it lives. Even if you place it in a slightly dim corner or forget to water it for a few days, it keeps growing. That alone brings ease. You don't have to worry about it. Pothos almost always finds a way to adapt and continue reaching outward. New leaves often appear in lighter shades, like small reminders that something fresh is always entering your life. Each time you notice a new leaf, it feels like a tiny new beginning. That subtle feeling can be surprisingly powerful, especially when you're craving a bit of hope or motivation. Pothos is also wonderful at softening the harsh edges in your home. If you have a straight bookshelf, a sharp-edged desk, or a stiff-looking wall, just place a pot of pothos there, and everything instantly looks more inviting. Its trailing vines create the sense of gentle movement, preventing the energy in the room from feeling stuck. Emotionally, the presence of pothos feels like a whisper, reminding you that life doesn't have to be so heavy. It doesn't try to impress, it doesn't demand attention, and it's exactly that simplicity that makes it comforting. It grows quietly, spreads slowly, and encourages you to move forward with the same softness. Golden pothos is a plant that carries no pressure. You don't need to care for it perfectly. You don't need to monitor every detail. Give it space and a little attention, and it will take care of the rest. And that simplicity is what makes it one of the most uplifting plants you can bring into any home. 3. Lucky bamboo. Lucky bamboo carries a very special kind of calm. Just looking at its thin, upright, gentle form is enough to slow the rhythm of a room. It doesn't try to draw attention, and it doesn't take up space. It simply stands there, quiet, patient, like it's holding the stillness you often lose in the middle of busy days. What's most endearing about lucky bamboo is its simplicity. You don't need soil. You don't need daily watering. You don't need to keep track of any care schedule. A glass of clean water and a soft, indirect light is all it needs to thrive. The way it exists feels like a reminder that sometimes the simplest things bring the most comfort. When you place lucky bamboo on a desk, a small shelf, or a corner of the room, its energy spreads in the gentlest way. In a space full of details, full of papers, full of distractions, the sight of one small plant standing still can soften your mind. It becomes a tiny pause in your day, a moment of rest you didn't know you needed until it was there. Another beautiful thing about lucky bamboo is that it always grows upward. Each new stalk feels like a small sign of progress. Not big, not fast, but steady. And that steadiness brings ease. It reminds you that you don't have to change everything at once. Moving forward, little by little, is enough to make life brighter. If you place lucky bamboo near a walkway, you'll notice how it softens the space. Each time you pass by, you feel just a bit lighter, as if it's keeping the energy in your home flowing smoothly instead of getting heavy. Emotionally, lucky bamboo brings a balance many spaces are missing. It doesn't ask anything from you. Yet, it gives so much back: a sense of calm, a sense of order, a place for your mind to rest. It's the kind of plant that doesn't try to stand out, but in the most natural way, it makes your home feel more peaceful, more breathable, and more gentle. And sometimes, that little bit of peace is all you need to step into a new day with a better heart. 4. Aloe vera. Aloe vera brings a feeling of healing from the very first glance. Its thick, water-filled leaves instantly remind you of coolness and ease. Even when placed in the simplest corner, Aloe makes the space feel cleaner, brighter, and softer. It's like a quiet breath that makes the room feel comfortable right away. One wonderful thing about aloe is its ability to store water inside its leaves. That helps the plant stay vibrant, even when you forget to water it for a few days. The way it nourishes itself carries a peaceful message. You don't always have to try too hard. Sometimes holding on to what supports you and letting things unfold at their own pace is enough. Aloe responds gently to its environment. When the light is too strong or the air too dry, its color or firmness shifts slightly, like a small signal reminding you to care for your space again. It helps you reconnect with your home, instead of just passing through it every day without noticing. This plant looks especially beautiful near a window where the morning light can shine through the veins of each leaf. Seeing that soft glow on the cool green surface brings a very natural sense of peace. It feels like starting the day with a clearer, lighter heart. Aloe is perfect for anyone feeling drained or out of balance. It doesn't demand much. It doesn't add pressure. It simply stands there, creating calm and reminding you that healing can begin with the smallest things. Whether you place aloe in the kitchen, the bathroom, or the bedroom, you'll notice how it makes the space feel fresher. Even a small corner can transform when aloe appears. Its gentle, unshowy presence makes it the perfect accent for any room. Aloe vera doesn't try to shine, yet it brings a peace you can feel each time you look at it. It's a reminder that softness has its own strength, and sometimes the touch of freshness is all it takes to lighten an entire day. 5. Orchid. The orchid is a plant that can shift the feeling of a room with the smallest presence. It's not loud, not showy yet. The moment you place an orchid in a space, everything becomes more refined and a little brighter. Its soft, delicate, almost translucent petals make you feel like the room just received a quiet upgrade. What makes the orchid special is its beauty, just enough to notice, but never overwhelming. It creates a gentle focal point for your eyes to rest on. When you look at those blossoms, you feel a very pure kind of stillness. The orchid doesn't try to impress. It simply stands there and lets its natural elegance do all the work. The orchid carries the feeling of blooming and opportunity. Each time a new flower opens, it feels like you're witnessing something small, yet meaningful. It's a reminder that positive changes in life can arrive just like that, softly, without rush, without pressure, but full of quiet hope. Another interesting thing is how the orchid makes any space look cleaner and more put together. Whether you place it in the living room, the bedroom, or on your desk, it brings a sense of tidy but elevated. And when your space feels pleasant, your mood begins to match it. The orchid is perfect for moments when you want your room to carry a touch of subtle emotion. If your space is full of sharp lines or hard objects, its delicate shape softens the atmosphere. If the room feels too plain, the orchid adds just the right amount of visual value without cluttering anything. It also offers the feeling of care, but without pressure. You don't have to tend to it every day yet. When you do spend time observing it, you feel a gentle connection to nature. The orchid becomes a quiet reminder that beauty takes time to bloom, and patience always brings something worthwhile. The orchid doesn't bring strong or overwhelming energy. Instead, it brings a pure energy, a brightness, just enough to lift your spirit while still keeping the room balanced. And sometimes that soft brightness is all it takes to make your home feel warmer and more inspiring. 6. Money tree. The money tree is the kind of plant that makes a space feel steadier the moment you place it down. Its braided trunk gives a sense of strength and connection. Its wide leaves, opening like hands reaching for the light, bring the feeling of growth and upward movement. When you look at it, you feel a clear kind of energy rising, grounding, expanding. What makes the money tree fascinating is how it creates a sense of solid footing in the room. When life feels chaotic, or you're trying to regain balance, The presence of something strong, upright, and full of life brings real comfort. The money tree doesn't ask for much. With moderate light and a bit of regular watering, it grows beautifully. Each time you see a new leaf appear, you feel a spark of change, like a small reminder that you're also moving forward even on days you don't notice it. This plant is perfect for places where you need focus and steadiness. On a work desk, it makes the space look cleaner and more intentional. In the living room, it becomes a gentle focal point that still carries a sense of abundance. Near a window, its energy feels even stronger as the light catches the braided trunk and its large canopy of leaves. The money tree also creates a feeling of connection. The intertwined trunks symbolize different parts of your life, slowly coming together: your plans, your goals, your relationships, or the small steps you're building day by day. When you look at it, you can feel that things really can come together as long as you stay patient and keep your direction. Most importantly, the money tree brings reassurance without needing explanation. It doesn't try to attract attention. It simply stands there, healthy, green, and alive, reminding you that stability often begins with the simplest things: a little light, a little care, and time. That's all it needs to grow. And that's all you need to move forward with more confidence and strength. When you place a plant in your living space, it's more than adding a bit of green. It's the way you build the emotion of a room. The right spot can turn a plant into a subtle focal point, just like putting a piece of art exactly where it belongs. A luxurious space isn't one with many objects. It's one with thoughtful choices, and plants, when placed correctly, become the perfect detail that completes that sense of refinement. The entryway is always the first place that needs care. This is the space that sets the emotional tone the moment you step inside. A plant with an upright, confident shape, like a snake plant or a money tree, creates a feeling of stability and graceful flow. When the light touches those bold green leaves, the space instantly feels more elegant. A luxurious entryway is always paired with intentional simplicity, and greenery is the element that elevates that tone. In the living room, luxury comes from the balance between softness and clarity. This is where you talk, relax, welcome guests, and quietly express your personal style. An orchid near a window, where soft light lands on its petals, creates an effect as gentle as light on glass. Or a golden pothos trailing from a high shelf can soften the sharp lines of the furniture. Luxury doesn't come from showing off. It comes from small, well-placed details. The bedroom needs gentleness, but depth. It's a private space where everything should carry soft, relaxing, peaceful energy. A small aloe on the nightstand or by the window can bring a light spa-like feeling. A warm bedside lamp, soft golden light, and a simple aloe pot create a layout that's understated but incredibly refined. This space doesn't need many details. One soft green touch is enough to make it soothing. A workspace, on the other hand, requires clarity and focus. A lucky bamboo placed in a corner of the desk not only makes the area look more elevated, but also adds a sense of balance. Its slender, clean lines help your mind feel more organized, as if you're aligning your goals just by looking at it. Light reflecting on its stems and the clear water vase also creates a clean, modern, intentional look. Exactly what a high-end workspace needs. In the kitchen, luxury comes from a feeling of freshness and cleanliness. A small money tree by the window or a gentle pot of pothos on a high shelf can make the kitchen lively without adding clutter. Greenery here brings a fresh and refined feeling, turning the kitchen into more than just a place to cook. It becomes part of your lifestyle aesthetic. A luxurious kitchen always balances function with beauty, and plants bridge those two elements effortlessly. Hallways or overlooked corners are also perfect places for plants. A tall snake plant in a corner can create a strong visual lift, drawing the eye upward and making the space feel taller. Or a small orchid on a console table in the hallway adds a touch of elegance that's soft but noticeable. These are areas people often ignore, yet placing a plant in the right spot turns them into unexpected highlights. One important principle of creating a luxurious space with plants is giving them breathing room. Plants shouldn't be squeezed between furniture or pushed into dark corners. A high-end space always gives every object its own presence, and plants are no different. When you place a plant in an open area with balanced light, it becomes part of the room's overall composition. Nothing extra, nothing missing. And finally, remember, this true luxury isn't about which plant you have. It's about the feeling you create when you walk into the room. A plant placed in the right spot can make a space feel peaceful, deep, and refined. It doesn't just beautify the home, it beautifies your mood. It's a quiet luxury, but one that everyone who walks in can feel. There was a time when a woman lived with a heaviness she couldn't explain. Her job was fine. Her life was familiar, yet every time she stepped into her home, she felt as if something was holding her back. It wasn't a clear sadness, just a quiet fatigue that followed her for months. One day, she decided to change one small thing. She placed a small pothos near the window. Not because she believed in anything special, but simply because she wanted a bit of green in the room. But what happened next was more than she expected. The next morning, when she opened the curtains, she saw the light touching the new leaves. Just a tiny moment, but it brought her a comfort she hadn't felt in a long time. She began to notice the plant more, then slowly added a few more pots in the living room and bedroom. She didn't make any big changes in her life, but day by day, her feeling about her home began to shift. The space felt less heavy. The room looked brighter. And most importantly, she felt she had a little more energy to restart things she had once set aside. One afternoon, after a long day, she walked through her front door and realized she breathed a little easier. Not because all her problems had disappeared, but because her home now carried something that gently supported her. The little plants didn't solve everything, but they created an environment where she could heal, softly, naturally, and at her own pace. She understood then that change doesn't always come from big decisions. Sometimes it begins in a small corner of the house, a corner with life, with light, and with a quiet reminder that things can get better one small step at a time. When you bring plants into your home, you're doing more than decorating. You're creating a space that breathes, where every small corner gives you a feeling that's lighter, brighter, and more peaceful. These 6 plants are not just beautiful. They represent stability, growth, and renewal, the very things your mind needs but often forgets. Each time you look at them, you're reminded that change doesn't always begin with something big. Sometimes it begins with a single new leaf. If you feel your life needs a fresh breeze, try starting with one plant. Just one small shift is enough to open a new flow of energy. Gentle, but very real. If you enjoyed this journey, hit subscribe to continue walking with me through these reflections, and leave a comment with this affirmation as a way of opening the door to prosperity. I allow good energy to flow into my life every day.